from my winter hell. I've got candles and candy, I can be your daddy if you only let me creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal? Your choice is seminal. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay true. Just speak low, stand in your row, try not to show this life's a show. Try not to glow way down below. Oh, it's a lot of woe, and that's not a place where you would like to go. I've got cigarettes and brandy, which could come in handy if you just help me loosen up my hand grenades fuse. Baby, don't refuse my truth, but it's up to you now to choose. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay true. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay true, 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 true,
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in. It's so good to have you guys here. I'm sorry that we had to delay this live stream. First, I was really nervous. Into the Weeds podcast, these are all their FOIA requests. It's their channel. And I'm very, very grateful to them for getting this. The one thing that I am desperately looking for in that FOIA is this. So we know that Greene County was looking into Gypsy for fraud. And I am so curious if any of that part of the investigation is in the FOIA, because I very much would love to see that. And the reason I say that is because it's in the documents, like the early documents that were released. I'm talking about back in 2019, 2020, somewhere in that area of time. The stuff that came from it's not Sunshine Law. And is it Sunshine Law? No, because that's a Florida thing. Whatever it is in Missouri, their FOIA process. It came on a CD back then. And it's in some of those documents. It talks about them investigating Gypsy for fraud. And then, because Gypsy took a plea deal, then Nick was awaiting trial. Then he had to go through the appeals process. All of that part of the discovery was sealed. was not accessible to the public. And now that Nick Godejohn's appeals process at the state level are effectively over, right? They're releasing them. Interesting. So we have Into the Weeds podcast here. Thank you for being here, by the way. I appreciate that. She says, I requested them, but they never did a fraud investigation, but I'll look. I've always wondered about that because it is in those very early documents. And the other reason I kind of thought that they were looking into her for fraud too, on top of all of that, is because when you watch some of the interviews with the investigators, they're real salty. This is after Gypsy has taken her plea deal. This is so when Mommy Dead and Dearest was being filmed, okay, Gypsy had not taken that plea deal was worked out during that filming process. I mean, filming a documentary takes a long time. Like, I can't even imagine how long it would take if I were to be the one doing it. You guys see how long it takes me to get out a video, because everything would have to be perfect. And I'm one of those people that would spot the continuity issues. Like if we had to reshoot something, I'd be like, no. The first time we shot this, that belt was definitely black, and now it's like gray. It's not going to work. Go find the black belt. I would notice that kind of stuff. It would take me 11 billion years. Oh, wow. 11,000, over 11,000 files. That is crazy. So while we have Into the Wood podcast, please go check out. She's dropped a ton of videos. They've done a ton of work. And I've been saying for a long time, when it comes to this case in particular, okay, those videos that were just dropped of Gypsy are vindicating for me. I have been saying for years, since I watched Mommy Dead and Dearest, Gypsy is a lying liar face who tells lies, who lives on Liar's Lane. Hell, she is the mayor of Liartown, okay? Anybody that sits down and says they haven't been honest with their lawyers in the first, meeting, okay, that she's admitted that she's lied. So I'm not saying anything cruel. I'm not being mean. It's just facts. She is an admitted liar. She admits that she lies, which is probably the only thing she's told the truth about, if I'm, anyway. But these videos feel very vindicating for me because I've said for a long time, I don't think we have this case right. I don't think that this narrative that was pushed by the documentaries, which is, that Gypsy was made to be a child, the whole entire time. I never believed that. My first indication came from a picture. It is that picture of Gypsy where she's licking the knife. And you can very clearly see the, what are those things called? Where all the switches are, not a transformer. Fuse box. It's a fuse box. And I remember from the crime scene photographs that the fuse box is in the living room. I knew then. That was like, oh, okay, check. Okay, you're on the right track, Jen. You're on the right track. And I took, you guys have no idea, I took such a rash of shit online in the Facebook groups back in the day. I had beef with Fancy Maselli early on because of this, because I was like, Fancy, I know what she's telling you, but you cannot believe what she's telling you. She is a liar. She admits that she's a liar. You have to separate yourself away from it on a personal level. You've lost your objectivity. I said that to her a million times. These are conversations we had years ago. We're fine now. Like, she does her thing. I do mine. There's no beef. I wish her all the success in the world. But now she's realizing, some things that she thought she knew for sure she was wrong about, and there's no shame in that. But when I saw these videos, I was like, I'm not going to lie, I felt completely vindicated, like just personally, because of it. You know, the thing of it is, when we're going to watch these videos, and this is how I want to do it. First of all, let me just stop. I got way too excited because I've been wanting to do this for such, I've had to put this off since this weekend. I got sick. It's been a whole thing, which is also another thing I need to tell you guys about. Okay, so I'm almost done with the West Memphis 3 episode, but can you hear my voice? I don't think you guys want to listen to this for like 30 minutes. And that's the part of it. I've written all of the and done all of the editing for the Patreon episode, but I haven't done all the recording of the narrating for the video for Patreon, and I can't listen to myself like this. I can't, because I have to go back and edit my own voice too. There's no way I can do it. So I think I feel like I'm starting to turn a corner. I was real yuck today. Anyway, plus side is that it will help me do Gypsy's voice. As you guys know, I'm pretty good at her voice. Let's see if I can remember how she says it. Let me see if I can try. The day is fire. There you go. Which it wasn't fire. and I kind of walked away from Gypsy. Like when she got out of prison, I was like, you know what? Let me see how she does. Let her do her thing. Whatever. I'm not going to cover any of that drama that was going on, with her divorce with Ryan and Ken back in the picture. Like, I'm not going to cover any of that. But if new documents or new videos or anything related to the actual case comes out, then I will absolutely cover it. And here we are. So just give me a couple of days. Let me get on the mend. I'll get it out for you guys. You really don't want to miss the second episode of the West Memphis 3. I worked really, really hard on it. I'm covering everything from the original case file up to the appeals, all of it. So it's all the old and the new information put together so it flows chronologically, so it makes sense. Okay, you don't want to miss it. Plus Patreon. Patreon is where I will talk about the stuff that is not suitable for YouTube. I don't like to give my opinions in the videos. I like to just put the information out, let you guys make your own opinion. And then in Patreon, I'll talk about, because as you guys know, I've been following that case for 20 plus years. So there you go. Okay. Now, enough of me yakety yakking. Welcome in, everybody. I'm so glad to have you all here. We're going to witness Damona. And for those of you guys who don't know, Damona was essentially Gypsy's alter personality to Victor. Nick had Victor, the 5,000-year-old vampire. Gypsy was Damona. Okay, and they fed off of each other, for lack of a better word. What I want you to notice, first foremost, and all that, is where is Gypsy sitting? We've seen this couch 11 billion times. She's sitting loud and proud in the living room, okay? And this would have been in 2013, September of 2013, okay? So let's think about what was going on in 2013. We know from when Gypsy's interrogation video was released all those years ago, and all of that time that they were waiting for Greene County to get there, right? When Gypsy was being the tour guide, telling the officer, where to stay, how to get the cheapest deals. She's basically a tour guide. That Dee Dee had to be taken away by ambulance, not once, but twice. If you go back and you watch the documentaries that I did on Gypsy and Nick in their own words, there's two parts of that. You'll see there are Facebook posts where Gypsy from her 11 billion secret, not secret, whatever, Facebook accounts, right? Where she has the joint account, then she's got, with her mom, the Blanchard one. She's got a couple of other ones. That one of them's just her. That's the one that she communicated with Christy and Rod on. Anywho, Dee Dee was sick. And I've always said that I suspect that what happened was that I think for Gypsy, the reason why she escalated things the way that she did is because I think Dee Dee getting sick at Disney World freaked her out. I think she knew that the jig was about to be up. I think she knew they were about to get caught. And I think that she had to silence the only other witness to their crime. That's what I think. That's it. That's all. So we're going to watch Damona. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what Damona has to say. This is going to be not just like informative, but I'm sorry, it's very difficult for me to take any of this crap seriously. I recognize that what happened was very serious, Dee Dee, no matter what you believe about Dee Dee, okay? And I believe that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I don't think that she was all good. I don't think she was all bad. I think she was human, and I think she was very, very flawed. I think she came from her own dysfunction. I think she passed that dysfunction on. That's it. And this is the end result. No matter what Dee Dee may have done in the United States of America, even if everything that Gypsy alleges is true, the punishment for that is not death. And it's certainly not death the way that Dee Dee died. Okay. So I can't, it's going to be difficult for me to get through this without like saying some things. Okay. So without further ado, here we go.
With you. Hi, my wonderful, amazing, absolutely sexy master. It is your one and only Damona, your slave forever and ever. Well, today is our happy 1-year anniversary. And I'm so excited. This past
First of all, aren't you supposed to be like a dark, like a demonic, not I mean Damona, hello, but wasn't this her werewolf personality? Or am I just making that up in my head? Like, did I just have a fever dream about that? How are you so freaking chipper? Go back and start again. And I got to give her props, okay? I have got to give her props. She did that hair toss and that wig stayed in place. So she's good at putting on them wigs. Good for you, Gypsy. Good for you. All right, let's keep going.
year has been amazing. It has been the most adventurous, wild, almost kind of like story almost, because things like this usually only happen in books.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta give commentary. If you want to watch this without commentary, it's on Into the Weeds podcast. She's got the whole thing, but I gotta give fair use commentary. Here we go. Things like this only happen in fairy tales. Fuck off, Gypsy.
Well, as you can see, I changed my hair color, but I hope you like it. And I'm wearing my favorite color plus your favorite color, black. And well, they are vampire colors, so. And what makes us so unique from other couples is that you and me have a vampire and human relationship, which I would think vampires would want to date other vampires, but I'm quite lucky that you want me. And I know that there are probably female vampires out there, but I'm very happy that you want me. Being with you has made me almost feel like a new person. When I met you, I felt That's him. That's my soulmate. To be honest, the way I view us.
Okay, so she's already started out my soulmate, all the things. And by the way, she also said to be honest. Okay. That means everything she's about to come out of her mouth is lies, in my opinion. It's always lies. She's so friggin' manipulative. And also, one of the other things that we need to remember about all of this, right, is the narrative, the original narrative, okay, which was that, she just wanted to be loved. She just wanted to find her happily ever after and all that, right? And she just got involved with the wrong guy. Ooh, that old story, like, she was already trying to work it out to be a Lifetime movie already in her head, okay, before the plea deal and all of that stuff. Okay. So the other thing we have to remember about, right, is this. Back in, oh God, I'm going to get this wrong. I just know it. Right when they first started dating, okay, was the McDonald's incident. All right. And if you're not familiar with the McDonald's incident, Nick Godejohn was in a McDonald's for several hours. The way that the newscaster says it, it's the way that he says the words, the enunciation he puts on some of them makes it sound as if he was literally in the McDonald's having a Happy Meal alone for like 12 hours. Okay, that's physically impossible. All right. And I would think that after the first, I don't know, 5 minutes, 5 seconds, somebody might have noticed and said, hey, maybe don't do that, right? He was in there for a substantial amount of time. When one of the customers walked by, they saw his screen. It was inappropriate material. And, the cops were called. When the cops got called, of course, they searched Nicholas. He's carrying a knife. He got arrested. He went to jail. Okay. Now, if you're naive, right, and, you aren't trolling the internet for a hitman, you're actually looking for your Prince Charming, Gypsy. Pay attention here. How many fairy tales start off with a story like that? Let me tell you, none. Okay. I have always believed, will probably always believe that I think Gypsy was on the verge of getting I think she was continuing to troll the internet looking for dudes. I do. I think what solidified her to Nick, I think why she ended up picking Nick is that incident at McDonald's. That's what I think. Okay. So now this is their happy anniversary. Well, they've been planning Dee Dee's murder because the talking about killing her mom started right away.
Is kind of like twins. Because you might know, since you're very wise, that twins, if one of them gets cut, let's say that one of them cuts their finger, the other twin will feel it and be like, that's weird, I didn't cut my finger. But then they'll talk to their other twin or whatever, and their other twin might not even know it, but their finger got cut. And, the other twin will feel it. And that's how I consider us almost, is that even though we're so far apart, if one of us is hurting, the other will hurt. And so if you hurt, I'll hurt. And it's hard being away from your soulmate because it feels like you don't know what's happening to them in that moment, but then when you know that they're all right, your mind is at ease and you just feel a whole lot better. And I feel like I'm linked to you, mind, body, and soul. So, and I think that's the way it should be. I think that we've been open and honest with each other about our feelings and about every day-to-day life.
Oh, really? Have you, Gypsy? You've been honest about your day-to-day life? Did you tell them you could walk? Well, obviously you're crossing your legs and stuff like that in this video. So at some point I know that you had no choice but to tell him. I don't know what that there's a video about that too. We're not there yet, but we'll get there. So I mean, come on. Every day, today life, all the things. It's me, Gypsy Rose. I mean, Demona. Can't. All right, here we go.
I know I've made some mistakes. I'll admit it, I have a habit of being kind of a know-it-all at times. And like recently, me and Gypsy forgot the password for our Facebook, and we just changed it without even telling you or asking you if it's okay. And that was a bad move on our part. It's not fully my fault, and it's not fully her fault. It's both our fault.
Oh, okay. So here we go. This is where Gypsy's now, separating. Sometimes Demona does things, sometimes Gypsy does things. But at the end, the fault is not 100% me. It's not 100% Gypsy. We split that fault 50-50. You're the same person, you ninny. Stop playing with this man. I mean, this is like the worst fantasy role play ever. But it is indicative of who Gypsy actually is as a human being, which is she forgot the password. And what should she do? She don't give a rat's fat kneecap that Nick might get locked out. No. I'm just going to change it because that's what I want to do. See, her whole identity in the media, right, while she was awaiting trial, and then when she took the plea deal, and then after the fact, right, was that Gypsy was very, very, very controlled. Dee Dee had her under her thumb. That girl couldn't do nothing without Dee Dee knowing about it, right? How many people do you know that are subjugated in that way, that just decide when they get locked out of their Facebook account that they just change the password like that because it's what they want to do? Doesn't happen. That's not, you don't move in and out of subjugation. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous. And what irritates me about all of this is that this is the discovery. Okay. I get that Patterson was going to have an uphill battle. And I don't think he was confident that he could have gotten her on first-degree murder. But I got to tell you, Dan, that sweetheart of a deal without making her testify was an awful idea. At the very least, you could have required her to testify. And with all of this evidence that's out now, this is evidence they had. And I just, they dropped the ball. I think that Gypsy is still dangerous.
And so now we know before we do anything, ask you, because you are our master. You are responsible for us. We are y'all bitches, I guess, because you're in charge of everything and you have complete control over us, our health. You're responsible for everything, our health, our safety, our happiness, just everything. And I'm really grateful to you for being my master and protecting us and making sure we're healthy and safe and happy. And everything that you've done is to make us be stronger women and make us the women that we know we can be. And it's your dream, woman. And that's what we want to be. And it's inside us. You just bring that out in us.
Yeah.
Now, the topic I want to talk about.
Yeah, the topic I'd like to talk about is this is according to Gypsy, right, completely in distress, whole unattended, here, you can't see what I'm doing, whole unattended phone right here, right here. Now, if you're Dee Dee, right, and by this time, right, this is after Dan, she's already got caught, running away, all of the things, right? That's all happened. According to her prison documentary, this is when, this is after the time when Dee Dee did voodoo and got a cow's tongue, bound it, hammered it with the nail, which, by the way, Gypsy, I think you should probably not tell stories like that anymore. That is, a cow's tongue is to keep somebody from speaking. It has nothing to do with infertility or keeping you from being pregnant or finding your true love, which something tells me you know that. You just hope that other people don't know it. You hope that other people don't pay attention. You hope that if you talk enough, nobody will actually hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and you're full of crap. All right, let's keep going.
Most with you is
hold on.
Is my feelings for you.
Oh God. In a little bit, before I forget, okay? If you haven't seen this, you need, and this is your first time, brace yourselves, because Gypsy's going to talk about this whole scenario with if they have a daughter and all of that. And if you guys will remember, it's still on my on my channel from the original, back from 2020, the original creators of the Nick Go to John Freedom Project, who have since walked away. They walked away years and years ago. But they have some really, really great insights. And maybe I will go back through that, and particularly on the topic of the situation with what Nick wanted to do if they had a daughter. I'm going to tell you what I think. All right. I'm just going to say how it is. Nick is a very, very disturbed individual. Okay. Very disturbed individual. Do I think prison is the right place for him? No. I think that probably the best place for Nick is a secure facility. But I don't, he's got some real issues. And those ladies that helped originally with the Nick Go to John Freedom Project are keenly aware. And they have some stories to tell. Anyway, you should definitely, I'll put all those links together and I'll put them in the description of this live. But yeah, but brace yourselves for that, because it's gross. It's not just the words that she's saying, it's the total package. She's still talking about some really disturbing, disgusting, violent topics, and she's looks like a freaking Muppet from Sesame Street. She's using that sing-song voice that she has. Oh, I can't with her. All right, let's keep going. But we're never going to get through
they're
this.
Not only just grateful feelings for protecting us and loving us and making sure that we're healthy and happy and safe, but it's also a feeling of contentment and this love that I can only describe, and it would sound like a book. It would sound, not real, because love like ours is very, very rare. And my feelings for you is that I'm your slave. So my sole purpose is to please you and to love you and to keep you content and keep you happy and be the woman that you dream of having. And if you need anything, that I'll be there for you, whether it's emotional support or if it's a sexual desire, like to fulfill that desire.
Until we get caught. And then I am going to blame all of this on you, and I'm never going to talk to you again. I'm going to dip.
I'm here for you. And I'm here for you also if you need someone to sort of talk to if you're angry about something, and maybe I can calm you down, whether that be talking to you or seducing you to make you happier about whatever's making you angry. So, and I'm not only just your slave, but I'm also your queen. Or at least I'm gonna be as soon as we get married, which I'm so happy because one day, that's something that we thought of this year, is that one day we are gonna have a vampire wedding. So we're gonna go all out into the tradition of having a vampire wedding. And we're gonna do it somewhere that it's very pretty but very isolated, because I want it to be just a private, just you and me and maybe Ricky and Allie, but that would be the only guest. And that night we would have the most awesome, amazing wedding night ever. And that's whenever we break out the handcuffs and rope and chains. It would be all about you and me, just completely entwined within each other and just completely letting out how we feel about each other in one time span of doing it all. You know, so we'd be having not only sex, but we'd be making love as vampire and human.
Wow, Gypsy, it's a hell of a wedding night that you have planned, and I can't help but also notice the people that are in Into the Weeds chat saying you cannot be a queen and a slave. That's accurate. Wow, wow, Lord, let me just keep going. I had something to say, but it's too mean. Let me just let me just keep going.
As well as master and slave. So it would be a very special moment for us. So that's something I'm very looking forward to. Also, my dress will be very pretty. It's going to be a nice, beautiful red with maybe some black accents to it. And maybe I can carry some red roses with, I know these don't really exist in real life, but black roses. I know they're not real flowers, but I can get them plastic. So I'll have red roses, a bouquet of red roses with black roses.
All right,
Like
I'm going to say it.
plastic
I'm
roses.
going to say it. All right, here we go. To be fair, at this point, she hasn't met Nick, okay? But she is really, really, really like, hyping him up and talking about all the things that interest him and everything. And I cannot help but think back once again to when she got out of prison and we hear about the infamous movie theater. Let me say it like Gypsy. Movie theater bathroom. And how she is not sure that he actually took her V card. And I'm going to leave it like that. So basically now she's not even claiming him. And if that, okay. And Ryan, I hope you're paying attention now too. Okay. Because I don't really feel all that sorry for you. I don't. I mean, she did you dirty. She did. All right. But it's really hard for me to feel bad for you when there were red flags after red flag after red flag after red flag. I mean, come on, bro. All right. I mean, she told you when you were trying to get all, touchy feely and trying to, do the bibbity bobbity boo that I just want to be. I like back up off me. I want to be. Okay. And you knew because you were there, you'd heard what she said about Nick, right? How she said that they did do it and then recanted and then she told you and then in front of God and everybody, the key is fire, right? And then what? 2 minutes later, she was with Ken. Yeah, you can't be believing her. Should have listened to that 303 song. Then you would have understood. Then you would have been prepared. And maybe you wouldn't have gotten your heart broken and you wouldn't be on TikTok. Guys, I can't with him. All right, here we go.
So that'll be very pretty. And so that's something that I cannot wait for. but I will wait till we have that perfect time in our life. Also, as your slave, I want you to know that I'm working very, very hard to become something very special called the seductress mother of the household. And right now I'm working to get my white collar. So there are color collars to gain up to that royal collar, which I can only get whenever we get married and I've completed my whole training.
Fantastic. Gypsy's about to give us the run through, but here I have a question, right? So if all the BDSM, which listen, we don't kink shame at this channel. All right. Whatever happens between two consenting adults, my name's Paul. That's between y'all. We don't kink shame over here. All right. But that being said, I have some questions. If it is Nick's idea and Nick is the one that knew all about the BDSM and he's the one that got you into it, why are you explaining how the collars work? Shouldn't Nick already know that? To me, this seems like she's explaining to him, not in a way like you're, I want you to know that this is something that you're interested in. So I've taken it upon myself to learn about it. She's not explaining it like that. She's like explaining it in a way that you would explain it to somebody who doesn't know what you're talking about. That's how it comes across to me. She's giving instructor, okay? She's giving teacher, not student. Let me put it like that. There you go. She's giving Mr. Miyagi, not Daniel.
So, but I'm gonna get it. I am determined to get it, and I will get it. It's just a matter of when. So I had this vision. Well, Gypsy had this vision about me and you, and you was sitting on kind of like a throne. You had a black shirt and black pants, and I was right by your side, like right here, by your legs, and you had me on a chain, but I had my royal collar with a chain, and you had the chain in your hand, and we were just in a room full of people. I don't know, the dream doesn't have a lot of explanations or whatever, but that's all she saw was that.
Yeah, it's super hard to explain something that didn't happen, that you're just making up. Oh my. I'm going to say this wrong. I want to say booty, but I don't think that's right. Is it body? Bree explained it. It's a script Nick wrote for her. Bruh. Listen, I try real hard not to mix in with all the stuff that goes on over there on the Tickety Talks. Like, I don't want no part of that. I just want to talk about the case. That's it. That's all. I don't, whatever. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But Bree, I got to tell you, babe, that makes zero sense. It's not a script that he wrote for her. Come on. I might have been born at night. Boudica. That makes sense. Okay. Boudica said, Bree explained it. It's a script Nick wrote for her. Man. Hold on a minute. What we need a little palate cleanser right here. Let me find out what we can do here. Here we go. We'll just play this one.
No, you shut up. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, criminal.
God, I can't even believe that. It's a script. Oh my God. I thought she was barely literate.
That I was the seductress mother and your queen and your slave right by you, serving you and being there if you need me.
It does look like she's got a hospital bracelet on, little D.
I guess it will come true one day. If she had that vision, it'll come true. And you said that Nick had a similar vision, so one day it will happen. And our future together will be a bright one.
Yeah.
I know that we want hopefully lots of children. And after we get married, we're going to try and start right away, I hope.
Here we go, you guys. Here we go. Brace yourselves. This is where she's going to get into it. It's really gross. Of course, so you've all been warned. Okay, this content might be disturbing. But I feel like we should play it because she said it, and her story has always been that this was something that Nick wanted, and the way that she's coming off it's not giving that. It's giving the absolute opposite, and it's disgusting.
And the plan for if we have a boy first, we're gonna protect him and
I don't know.
protect our children from the outside world because they can't know about us. They can't know about you being a vampire. But we're gonna protect them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people, and make sure that they understand the severity of keeping this secret. And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household. So I'm going to have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that, but around 13, I'll explain. And also, if you ever need...
Low key, this is literally the absolute worst parenting plan ever. Okay. First of all, the fact that she's even discussing this, okay, in the way that she's discussing it, she's talking about it in the scenario in a way where when you are young and you are talking about having children and thinking about what kind of parent, but you don't know what you're really, what life is all about yet. You think you do, right? And you're like, if we have a girl, I'm not going to make her wear pink. I'm going to let her do this. I'm not going to, the way that a teenager who's mad at their parents and they say, when I have kids, my kid's not going to have a curfew. My kid's not going to, have to tell me where they are every second of the day. My kid's not going to have to check in. That's how she's talking about it. That is how she's talking about it. In that way, as if it's nothing, no biggie. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And he's not a novelist at all, Boudica, at all. I mean, look, at this point in time, enough of his emails from even back, in the day have been released that you can see them in the they're in the case file where he's those Facebook messages between him and that friend of his. Nick isn't highly wordy, or maybe he's just not in person and not on paper, period. I don't know another way to say it. And I have a very, very hard time believing that this was something that Nick wrote for her to say. Frankly, it does not pass the sniff test at all.
Someone to, I guess, feed off of, but not kill, obviously. You know that I'll always give you my blood. You know that if you're ever weak, or if you're ever so weak that, you can't move, or you're just really, really sick, don't worry. I'll give you my neck anytime you need. It is always yours, just as I am always yours. So I'm your woman. I'm your slave. And I'm proud to be.
Congratulations, Nick.
So, happy anniversary, my amazing, wonderful master. And I look forward to many, many, many more of anniversaries and birthdays and just so many happy, romantic, sexy things to look forward to.
Gross.
So, happy anniversary, my darling master. I love and adore you so much. And I'm always dreaming and thinking about you.
Ew. All right. Ew, ew, ew. I can't. All right. So, I mean, look, that's done in broad daylight. All right. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, for the love of Pete. You know, Dee Dee, where was Dee Dee at this time? You know, I thought that she didn't let Gypsy out of her sight ever. All right. So here is Gypsy. This video is Gypsy talking.
You're gonna die.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's Gypsy talking about all the clothes that she got for their baby. Now, how, you might ask, you might be wondering, how does one who has no job and no income get all of these baby clothes, especially when you think about the fact that her mom, according to Gypsy, oh, thank you, Allie, for rallying. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Her mom hovered over her. Like Dee Dee, according to Gypsy, was a helicopter parent. Like Gypsy couldn't even go to the bathroom by herself, for the love of Pete. She could not be let out of Dee Dee's sight for a second, because, you know, she had to keep her up under the thumb. See, I think when Dee Dee started getting sick, I think when Dee Dee got diagnosed with diabetes, I think when she started having kidney stones, I think that the power dynamic shifted. And I think that Gypsy said to her, I think the Dan situation also is another thing that really changed it all up. Okay. And I think that Gypsy was like, look, I'll keep up the grift that's essentially supporting our lifestyle. All right. But you're going to have to back up off me and let me do me a little bit. Okay. I promise not to be reckless and run away and get caught with some dude, Dan, and let everybody, you know, from VisionCon know that, oops, I lied. I can totally walk. And that I'm way older than we've been telling everybody, but you're going to have to let me do some things for me. You're going to have to let me be me a little bit. And I think everything changed about that time. I think that Gypsy, I think the dynamic changed. I don't think that Gypsy was in fear of Dee Dee when she murdered her at all. And I don't even think all the time that she was planning to murder her mother with Nick, I don't think she was in fear of Dee Dee either.
Well, this one isn't as crazy as the last one.
Well, to me, this is crazy.
Because you didn't see this in transcript beforehand. The other one you saw in transcript beforehand, but if you wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, guys, here we go.
Thanks, guys. Oh.
My sweet love. I just want to show you all the stuff I got for the baby. So I will start off with essentials. Of course, probably diapers for newborns. Shoes that would take some time to grow into, a little book.
Y'all, let me move this over here. Look at this haul. Okay. She is shoplifting. This is shoplifting. Okay. This isn't, I went on Amazon or I ordered some stuff online and, it got here and I had to be real super sneaky, right? No, this is stuff she stole. Okay. Look at the amount of stuff she stole. Ugh. Nothing worse than a thief.
These are called nunus where I come from. But I guess other places they're called pacifiers. So I've got some really cute girl ones and some cute boy ones too. Cute girl shoes. I like these. These are really pretty. And cute little boy shoes. They're blue. And these that are like crochet and they're white. They're really pretty. Okay, and this is a carrier that I strap on me to carry the baby around places. And this is the bin full of clothes. So, okay, on this side we have the girl, and this side we have the boy. Hats, tons and tons of hats, bibs, socks, beautiful clothes. And can you believe all of this Demona got for the baby? I didn't have to pay a dime for any of this. And this is like name brand good clothes. It's not like anything Walmart.
Oh, name brand good clothes, not Walmart-ish. Oh, aren't you a bougie? Girl. Demona got all of this. Girl.
Or anything. This is like Ralph Lauren and Polo or certain kind of labels that you get from the mall. Like this one right here, this one was $36 and free. So thank you, Demona, for that.
Free how, Gypsy?
So yep, all of this is for the baby. So if we have a girl, she's gonna have lots of beautiful pink clothes. And if we have a little boy, we're gonna have he's gonna have a lot of cute clothes that I'm gonna show you. That
Oh,
if
I can
ever
hardly
had a
wait for this
child,
fashion
like
show.
a little boy, I would want him to wear this. And I'll be one of those moms that make their little boy dress like a little gentleman. So look how cute this is. Isn't that adorable? So I got that. Mixing it all up. But yeah, so all of this has just been free. Thank you to Demona. So she's helped a lot with that. So basically already just need the baby. So and I got the money for that. And so yeah. So I'm all ready. That's why if your mom was probably freaking out.
Wait a minute, back the milk truck up. You got the money for what, Gypsy? You just said that everything was free and it came from Demona. You can't even lie right. Right, Allie? I like Walmart too. Don't be shaming Walmart, Gypsy. Girl, bye.
She's like, oh, she's probably gonna want her to pay child support and, all that stuff that usually other girls, they want their boyfriends to pay for the baby. But I don't need money from you because we can work our way around that with Demona helping. So that's why I'm like, I don't expect you to pay a dime.
Oh, fantastic.
But, we'll keep that between us. Okay, anyway, I'm going to end this video now. Okay, I love, adore, and worship you, my darling.
I need you to vacuum that floor. That's her bedroom, by the way, just so you guys know. That's in her bedroom. I can tell from the bed. You could see, because, she had that weird hospital bed or whatever. All right, here we go. Hold on. All right, we have to skip a while. I'm going to go back. I do want to listen to these calls with you guys, but tonight I just want to do her redonkulous videos, and then we'll go back and listen to Nick's calls. All right, here we go. Skip. Here we go. All right, you guys, now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Where's ATS News? I wish she could be in here because ATS News also showed a little bit of this. She put her own music to it. Into the Weeds, are you still in here? Because I need to know if you are, or 1980 Millennial commentates. I need to know, what was the original song that Gypsy was dancing to in this video? Because I just need to know that. These are the kinds of things that keep me up at night. All right, I bring you Demona. Entering now to bring into the stage Demona.
Mute this. Okay, guys.
All right, here we go.
This is something.
Okay, guys.
For all the people
Here
who
we
are mad
go.
we didn't show other things, here you go.
You'll at least get a little bit.
It's something.
Oh, hold
It's
on.
mute. I got muted. Sorry, y'all. If anyone wants to talk over it, though, you guys can feel perfectly free to do so.
Yeah.
Can we sing the chicken dance song?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was trying to think of a good song to sing over this, but I can't think of it.
I would like to also point out this area right here. You'll notice door wide open. Wide open under the ever oppressive, watchful eye of Dee Dee. Come on. And also, why is there it looks like a Halloween bucket? What is happening here? All right, here we go.
Anything.
And
She
where's
does
the
the same
towel?
stuff on TikTok.
Baby, baby, baby. baby, baby, no.
You gotta do her song. I was wild and free.
Wait, what's a Taylor Swift song, y'all?
I don't even know. I don't even listen
What's
to
that
her.
song she sung at that
Oh, yeah.
expo?
What's that song with the redwood tree?
I don't even know.
It's her saying that Travis Kelce has a redwood tree.
I have no idea. I've never heard it. I
Never
don't
mind.
listen to Taylor Swift.
Never mind. We're good.
Shush, girl. Shush, Shirley.
Anyway,
Do the Helen
Peace
Keller.
and love.
And talk
We're
with
not
your
like an
hips.
Egyptian.
Oh
y'all,
my
I'm
God.
telling you, if you were to see a video of me trying to do the same exact dance in the bathroom versus her, she's eating it. I'm just telling y'all, okay?
Is she moving to the sound though? Like
Yeah,
does
she
have
is.
rhythm?
She is.
She is. She's on beat, okay?
I
Whatever
need
that
to
beat
know
is.
the song. What is the song?
That
Sorry,
part.
I'm not being mean. Again, I think she's fucking eating it. Okay. Anything anybody else says, someone says no, she's not. I'm not saying someone would stop commenting her. I'm not saying that she should be on stage with Beyonce. Okay. I'm just saying if you want to see me versus her.
I'm screen recording this shit and putting a song over it. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do the same.
Running away. Beating like a drum, yeah, it's coming your way. Oh my God, she's
Can't you hear that? Boom, boom, boom,
That
boom,
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 boom, boom.
super bass.
Look at her muscle tone though.
Right?
I don't have that muscle tone.
Okay, so the point.
Also, I do want to comment on that. Okay. She does have great muscle tone. All right. This is not somebody who just got up out of the wheelchair a month ago, 6 months ago. Even, this is somebody who's been walking, always walked all the things. I mean, the one thing I will say to her is she does know how to she does know how to work that wig. Okay. She does do a lot of movement with her head and that wig never slips, which is good. So I'm going to give her 2 points for that. But I'm probably going to have to deduct at least 35 points from the interview. It's just
of us showing this, I think, is that she said that she was malnourished when she went
very
to prison.
malnourished.
Winfield said
That's not
that.
malnourished.
She said she was totally malnourished whenever
Yes,
she entered.
she's getting it,
She
man.
is not malnourished.
Malnourished, girl. That's not
Can I point out that the bathroom door is open?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, she is eating, but she did leave crumbs. Okay. She's not this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay. It's not the best thing I've ever seen either. So I'm going to say she did eat, but she left crumbs.
You
It
can see
is.
it behind her.
It is. So take that
It
however.
was weird how she didn't keep her voice down in any of her videos. Like she was
did not.
saying everything with her full chest. Did y'all notice that?
Yes,
What
it
did you
is a
say? I'm
little
sorry.
ridiculous, y'all. I know I said she ate. It is a little funny, but yeah, she's not malnourished. She's not malnourished.
Somebody's got some video in the background.
Yeah.
Audrey?
Nope. Dr. Dorothy
It was
Lewis
actually-
did not.
That's me. That's me.
The girls are
But yeah,
funny
anyway,
in this one.
this is her dancing.
All right. So she's dancing. She's getting it. This is for Nick. This is all part of it. Isn't this fantastic? with the door open. And by the way, where is she getting these clothes? Because according to Gypsy, right, Dee Dee never let her do any of this stuff. Dee Dee never, you know, she how do you say that word? I never say this word right. Infantile. Ugh. She kept her childlike. I can't think of the word right now. I'm so sorry. She probably is thinking, she's probably like, look at all those haters. You know, you girls are just jealous. You're just jealous. I got that moves like Jagger. She's so serious. She did steal it. I'm sure she did steal it. But the point is that she's doing this loud and proud with the door open, which means she wasn't too afraid of Dee Dee. Oh dear. Oh, well, I will add 3 points to Hufflepuff for the use of props in the, she is not Lil D. Did you just make that up? I need to know for facts who she's dancing to, but I will give her, I award 3 points to Hufflepuff because she used the towel rod. Well done, Gypsy. All right, here's the next one. All right. This one is Nick, though. All right, here's Nick. This is Nick's Gypsy. All right, here we go.
Please credit me.
I would also like to say that once again, all of these videos are on Into the Weeds podcast. They did the work. This is not, first of all, to request FOIAs, they can be tricky because you got to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but you got to be specific about what you're asking for, all the things. It's not cheap. And then to put it all together, you got to sit and you got to watch this stuff or listen to this stuff so that you can actually speak about this stuff. This Star Search, Amber? Star Search. That's what you're talking about. Amber says, what was the show where Ed McMahon would give you stars for your performance? This was in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, Star Search. This is a lot of work that they're doing. And they've been really cool about letting people use their stuff. And you know, I appreciate it. So go over there, give these girls a sub, tell them the word sent you. All right, here we go.
I can't even hear it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, let me go back.
She gets 0 stars.
This one is gonna be like 13 minutes, so just prepare, guys. Okay.
All right, I'll be right back, you guys.
I almost said Laura's fangirling big time for what?
Hold on.
What am I fangirling
video,
over?
and I'm gonna make this a separate video, but it's hi Gypsy and Dimona. I forgot to add one thing to that video, and I'm gonna make this a separate video, but it's still about the other one that you both are to make. I only had to do this, so it means I'm gonna make this a quick video. I'm still gonna say goodnight to you both, so don't worry about that. Anyways, yes, this is what you both have to also know about your videos. Gypsy, you do have something expected to wear. So do you, Dimona. You wonder what it is, don't you? We both are really thinking about that. After you were to watch the other video, which is over 22 minutes, you wonder what it is. So your mind gets puzzled thinking about it. It wanders, ponders, and doesn't seem to know what it is. So this way you don't have the fear of disappointing me. Since I mentioned in that video that you both were to make sure you do, and I repeat, do, continue to make me please. So this way you'll start seeing more videos of me. The reason why you're seeing this one is because I forgot to mention something. Now, I've already mentioned that Gypsy's is meant to be long. However, since I took as long as I did, and I did give Gypsy a lot to remember, then I gave Dimona, I suppose, a good amount to remember too. Dimona, I changed your size of your video to medium, which means it's between long and short, while hers is longer, since she's meant to go into great depth, while you are just straightforward about all the topics. While she is meant to go in great depth, Gypsy is meant to go in great depth, is because, for one, she knows her soulmate, Nick, expects her to get more.
Okay. Now, think about the narrative, right? Which is that Nick was very basically Nick took over where Dee Dee left off, right? That's been Gypsy's story this whole time, okay? And that he was very demanding and very specific. This is the mastermind behind all of everything. Everything that happened was Nick's idea, right? All these videos are Nick's idea. She said the things that she said because Nick made her say it, okay? Yet here we have Nick saying, your video needs to be somewhere between long and short. That doesn't sound very demanding to me. That doesn't sound very specific. Somewhere between long and short. Well, what is long to one person might be not long to another person. It just, this is why I'm glad that these videos are coming out, because it's important. This is my big issue with like the datelines, the 2020s, the 48 hours. Okay. If any of, they all had access to the exact same things. Okay. And if any of them had actually looked at the documents that they were given, because so did Mommy, Dad, and Dearest. All right. If they had actually looked at what they were given, they would have seen the story for exactly what it was. But yet they chose to go with this narrative because it was more salacious, it was more scandalous, instead of telling the truth. The truth is actually more messed up. And that's where the problem is. And all this time, all of these years, right, people have villainized Dee Dee. They have said that she is an unsympathetic victim, that she deserved it, that, hold on. I've watched it for years on Facebook, that people have come into Facebook groups and they have said things like, if Dee Dee were my child, or if Dee Dee were my mom, I would have done the exact same thing, except for her child didn't do it. She went online and found a hitman and paid him. That is really the long and the short of it. That's what she did. She met a guy. Gypsy has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to medical situations, diseases, disease processes, all of those things. She had access to the internet. Sorry about my nose, you guys. She had access to all of those things. She looked stuff up. She did. So did Dee Dee. She did it because Dee Dee taught her how to do it. Even though, autism, we've come a long way, even since, Gypsy and Nick met, about what we know and what we think we know, and what we, all those things, right? We're learning. We're still learning. But she looked and she saw this kid and she knew this kid was ripe for the picking. He was a mark. It's all he ever was. Nick was just a means to an end, because the guy she really wanted was Dan. Just like Ryan was a means to an end, because the guy she really wanted was Ken. And that's what's bothersome to me, because this information, while it's new to us, it's new to the public at large, it's not all that new. It's not all that new. There are people there are people that investigated this case that have known about this. There were people like the producers of Mommy Dead and Dearest that were given unprecedented access to documents. And if they would have just looked at what they had, really looked, they would have had a completely different story. A story that I think is actually worse than the story they went with.
And more detailed as I keep on urging her to develop those over time, as she's doing. So far, she's doing pretty well on that. She's getting more and more detailed, which is good. She continues to keep getting this way, then obviously that's a big plus for us on her development. But yes, since she has to get into great detail with it, that means she has to take longer, which is a good thing. And Gypsy, take your time. I'm serious. Take your time to remember everything. You already know that Dimona got my permission to help you remember stuff that you're supposed to talk about. You know that Gypsy and Dimona, you're both obviously adored by me, obviously. But you both also should know one other thing. Gypsy, there's one other extra thing you can mention, because Nick did mention it in the past towards you. How you feel about threesomes. He's never going to make you do a foursome. I know he won't. Maybe threesome he might make you do, but that's because he wants to explore. You got to remember that too. So you have a lot to remember. If you have to listen to it in your earpieces, while you have it plugged into your laptop, and you write down each topic, just remember them all, just so you make sure you please me. Then make sure you do that. I'm serious. You want me to be pleased. You want him to be reassured. You do that. The same thing with you, Dimona. You want to write down the topics I mentioned for you. You do the same. The only reason you might have to do foursomes is because I am known to be the most sexual one out of us all. That's usually when you got to adjust to me. And believe me, you're meant to be able to handle crazy things sexually. Remember, Dimona, you are meant to do it. You may at times be a little doubtful towards it because you're not sure what you're capable of. But me, I've seen deep within even your pictures. I can see the fire within your eyes. That means that you can handle it. So now, here's what you both are to wear. Since Gypsy's more innocent, she's going to wear white and red. White, red. That sounds a good combination for her. And Gypsy, try to make it as much lingerie as you can out of that, because you're still talking about sexual topics, which means you should look sexual for it, since you should make it seem that way. And as for Dimona, you're also wearing red, but you're also wearing black. Yes, they're vampire colors. It's deeper than that, though.
It's loud.
Okay, girl, sorry. And you are meant to be that, since you got me inside him. So there you go. Those are the things you got to do. And yes, Dimona, you're also wearing as much lingerie as you can. And Dimona, if you wish to just express your sexuality, this is an option. You do it, yes, you'll probably make me pleased, even more so than I originally would have been. You do have this as an option. In your side of your video, you're allowed to do this if you want to. You can show off your Gypsy's body and play with yourself if you want to express your sexuality. I'll give you the option to do that. If you take it, well, me and Nick will obviously love the idea of you doing it. But what your master, you have to understand, is expecting out of you. It's not just answering all the stuff and putting all the stuff on and all the rest of that stuff, and making sure the video is long enough. What you also have to understand, the main thing I'm trying to make sure that you develop under yourself is your sexuality to be able to match mine. And I'm telling you right now, I would be able to dominate you to probably where I would scare you right now if I was to go my most roughest and such on you right now, to where you would be scared. You would be, Dimona. I know Gypsy would too, because she's used to gentle touch. So it would be easy to scare her. But I would even be able to scare you, Dimona. Anyways, yes.
Now, back the milk truck up a little bit. Nick, how is Gypsy used to a gentle touch? She had been, like Rapunzel, locked away in the tower for so long. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I do feel a little remiss at putting out the videos of Nick like this, but I think that it's important. I think the whole story needs to be told, and that is something that, just real quick, I want to say, YouTube true crime gets a lot of backlash. We get spoken about very, very poorly by mainstream media. There's always that condescending tone, the online sleuths, the sleuthers, how they talk about YouTube. And I think that we're in a unique position we have to follow YouTube terms of service, obviously, right? But we are not beholden to a network where we have to carry on the narrative that's being told. We are in a unique position to actually tell the truth. And I think that it is our responsibility, if we're going to be part of the true crime genre, the word true is right there. It's at the very beginning. It's the first word because it's the most important word. The truth of the story. And I think what happens so many times in true crime is human beings tend to need a victim and a villain. And in this case, Nick and Dee Dee were made the victim, or the villains, excuse me, and Gypsy was made the victim. And the fact of the matter is, human beings are rarely that cut and dry. Even the most evil person is capable of doing a good thing, just like good people are capable of doing bad things. We're not one thing all the time. And so I think we have to be really careful when we're reporting on these stories to not feed into that, to let things play out and remember that these are humans that we're talking about. And Gypsy probably does have some good qualities. I can't think of any right now. Like, bottom line for me is she's just not my kind of gal. All right. Like, the friendship door is closed. I'm not even saying she cares if the friendship door is closed. I'm just saying, for me personally, she's not my cup of tea. It is what it is. Nick's not really my cup of tea either. We probably wouldn't be friends. Okay. But that doesn't mean that, this case in particular really frustrated me. It really frustrated me because Dee Dee was so villainized for a long, long time. And Dee Dee could have been slicker than baby snot, right? When it came to grifting people around her, the regular people. But it is real hard to convince doctors that a child or an infant, a child, a teenager has a disease that they do not have. Okay. So, that was another thing. The medical files have started to come out a little bit, and, it looks like Gypsy did have some legitimate issues going on, and I just feel like, sometimes all the time, every time in every case, we need to take like several steps back, and it's okay to be in the wait and see section. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Here we go.
That's the reason why I mention all this stuff with you. The threesomes or foursomes. By you doing threesomes and foursomes, not only are you getting more sexual, let's explain this to you. Not only are you getting that, you're also handling more sexuality at once. By you doing this, you'll be able to handle the sexuality with me at my most roughest and such, like no one else can. So say if you and me were to do a rape crime or something.
Oh dear Lord. Lisa Frank says, Chenlu, I know you're saying something meaningful and important, but I'm laughing at wear as much lingerie as you can. Remember when Joey wore all of Chandler's clothes? Yes, I do. I remember that. I also, yeah, I remember that. I think it's important to hear the whole story. And I think that Nick saying some like, oh, like right here, he's talking about a rape crime or something, right? That's shocking. Okay. It is. But at the same time, if we just were to focus on that one sentence, I think we would get tunnel vision. Yes, what he said is shocking. Absolutely. It's horrible. But he doesn't come across as a mastermind at all in any sense of the word. Cluckety cluck. Could I be wearing any more lingerie? Oh, Chenandler Bong. All right, here we go.
That woman that you knew ended up doing something like that with would be screaming like hell. Badly, I'd be doing that to her. While with you might scream, but it will be actually, instead of out of fear, it will be out of pleasure. You see what I'm saying? And yes, it may hurt. But one thing you gotta understand is sex with your master means pleasure and pain. So that means you have to get used to that too. Not to mention that's the BDSM way. However, the vampire form of that is a lot more sexual than just pleasure and pain. It's more sexual and pleasure and not as much pain. But there is still pain involved. But the sexuality is what really stands out with the vampire way of it. So remember that, Dimona. And you too, Gypsy, since I obviously am training you too. All right. This is 8 minutes. I preferred to make this short, but I had to go in depth just because I had to make sure you both understood what I'm talking about here. So now, Dimona, make sure you add all the stuff I just mentioned into your list that you make of what to remember for your video. And you do the same thing, Gypsy, since I did give you a lot to remember too, with this video and the other one included. All right, now I'm going to say good night for this video, and it'll probably be the last video for today. If you earn more in the future, then that's good. That means you're both doing a great job. And obviously, I always tell you when you're doing a great job and when you're not doing a great job. I always tell you that, so this way you know.
Well, thanks for that, Nick. Everybody likes a compliment sandwich.
When you're doing something wrong and when you're doing something right. Since obviously me as your master, I'm meant to guide you both. All right, here we go. I as your master victor and Gypsy's love master and Dimona's love slave master soulmate, which means I'm your master soulmate of you being my love slave, obviously. Soulmate, obviously. Do love, adore you both. And Dimona, someday I'll worship you, but you have to work very hard to get to that point. If you do worship me, that's a good thing, because you deserve to actually worship your master, since that's the deepest form of love, which I do agree with Nick on, surprisingly. But yes, mention that, why don't you? At the end of your video, just before you say goodnight to us both, Dimona, mention if you do adore me. Because not only do I know you adore me, go to a step further and mention if you worship me. See what I'm saying? I know you adore me, but is your love already at the worship level that your master now, your soulmate now? And as for Gypsy, all I expect out of you is to adore me. You don't have to worship me, but even though I taught you a lot, I can understand if you ever were to do it. All right, now here I go to end this. And I'm just reassuring you both just because I feel like it's a good idea to do. I is your master and soulmate, meaning soulmate towards Dimona, master towards Gypsy. Obviously, I'm Dimona's master too, but I'm putting a combination here for you both to be thinking of yourselves as I mentioned this. Do love, adore you both, my love slave Gypsy and my love slave soulmate Dimona. All right. Good night, my darling love slaves. Make me proud of you both by having everything I mentioned in this video along with the other one. So this way you can see your master smile. And remember, it's hard to please me. So if you don't do every single little detail I just mentioned in this video and the other one, you probably won't please me completely. I'm meant to be hard to please, so this way it drives you to work harder to please me.
Okay.
That's the reason behind it.
Thanks, Nick.
We're
Peace
not
out.
responsible for anything learned or not learned in this portion of the video.
Do you have the date on it, Amber?
It is 9/27/2013 at 5:05 p.m.
Which I was telling them earlier is the day before.
5:05 p.m., y'all. That is business hours. Business hours. Okay? These are working people hours, for the love of Pete. All right, hold on. Oh, I went too far. All right, here we go.
But it's well worth it. Here we go.
Hello, Sir Blackwood. It is Demona, and I am making you this video upon your command. And I am basically wanting to explain who I am and what I can do and who I can be. Well, as you know, I have the spirit of a dog. My former self was a dog, but now I'm inside. I have the spirit of a dog, but I'm in human form because I share a body with Gypsy, who is like a sister to me. So now that you're caught up, okay, where to begin?
Hold on a minute,
well,
Gypsy.
to pick up where we left off on.
That is the worst backstory ever. We need a palate cleanser. I need a palate cleanser. I think she said Sir Blackwood, Lola. Sorry. All right. We all need a palate cleanser. All right. Where is it? What should it be, you guys? Should we do the cats? Well, I need a little Peter Griffin. Hold on. We'll do Peter Griffin first.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Now we'll do the cat.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
All right, one more because this is Demona, and I can't. And I don't know. I think Gypsy hypes the baby voice for Nick, and I can't take it. So here we go.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
All right, let's get back to it. Whew, here we go. There's so many holes in that backstory. Like this is a terrible, terrible, terrible backstory. There's too many plot holes. I'm already bored, tired, and confused.
The topic that we were on. I am a slut, but I do have an evil streak. I can torture somebody. I can do anything except a few things, which is I can't hurt Gypsy's mother. Like, I can't physically harm her. And I can't Nick. because those two people are off limits. I'll take whatever punishment you may give me, but I can't. I just can't. If you want to beat me, beat me. If you want to hurt me, but just don't hurt Nick, don't hurt Gypsy, and I can't hurt Gypsy's mother.
Something tells me that the fact that she can't hurt Gypsy or Gypsy's mother comes less from some type of moral issue. And I feel like I think she wanted Nick to do it, quite frankly. I think this came from just a CYA, cover your ass legally. That's it. That's all. That's what I think. I'll always think that. I mean, Gypsy could show up in this chat right now, and I would entertain her. I would let her come on panel. I would talk to her. I would be polite, but she's never going to be able to convince me that, I still think that some of those hesitation wounds came from Gypsy. I'm just going to say it.
But besides those things, I'm limitless of what I can do. I can steal, I can torture.
Okay.
I could kill, just not those people. I sometimes like to drink. And I really, really, really like being naughty, as far as sexually naughty.
Oh, fantastic. Are you putting all this on your LinkedIn then, Damona? You like to drink. How do you know if you like to drink? When have you been able to drink?
That's one of the things that I'm best at. So that's kind of like what I'm wanting to talk to you about, is that I can be really, really, really sexual sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. I overwhelm Nick. So that is something you might want to know, but I know that you are kind of the same way, so that's a good thing.
Oh my God.
And I want to talk about
right now.
proving myself to you. If I can't prove myself to you that by doing evil, I'll prove to you by doing stuff to Nick. And one of the things that I can do is rape him. And which is basically taking him by force, actually holding him down and having my way with him. Yes, sometimes, you probably know this yourself, but you don't want any chit chat. You just in there and you don't want to have any questions asked. So, that would be fun for me. It would be fun to kind of be the dominant one because I'm usually always the submissive one. So it would be nice to kind of expand and sort of try my hand out being the dominant one. And as far as evil things that I can do, I can also, one of my skills, it's not really evil, it's just bad.
Oh, okay.
Is stealing. And that's the thing that I'm best at. Along with being seductive. Two things I'm best at. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Well, do you know what a barcode is? I bet you do.
No.
It's on every item at the grocery store.
Oh, for the love of
every
Pete. Hold on
sold
a minute.
item.
Are you seriously going to explain to us what a friggin' barcode is? What you drinking there, Gypsy?
Looks like this.
Oh, it's Windex. Never mind.
Well, take, for example, a store like Walmart. If you're at Walmart, they do have those you walk through. Well, anyway, if you put the barcode this way down, facing towards the floor, and go through the detectors, it won't go off. If it's this way, or this way, it will go off. But if it's facing down, that means the scanners won't detect it. That's just one tip. But a lot of these things that are for stealing.
I'm going to have to put out a disclaimer. I'm not responsible for anything this fruitcake says. in this video. This is her thoughts, her opinions, her views. They do not reflect the views of the host, Jinlu, or the channel, The Word Case Studies, at all. Don't do any of this stuff. It's illegal. She's not, no, it's all bad. She's bad, 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 bad. Okay, yes, Tess, she did. There is an incident at VisionCon. The state of who actually was the person who was Gypsy's first, like that status, I don't think anybody is 100% on. Okay, so there was a guy at VisionCon, Dan is who I'll suspect it was, who Dee Dee caught Gypsy upstairs with. And in one of the rooms, there's him. And then there was Nick. And then there was Ryan. And then there was Ken. So, yeah. But Gypsy, you know, she's one of those ones that, you know, like after I don't know, whatever, she don't claim none of these men except for Ken and Ryan. And the only reason she claims Ryan is because she, you know, said what she said, you know, right there in front of God and everybody. I mean, it's on the internet forever. All right, here we go.
Requires a 2-person job. And so take, for example, at Sam's Club. They have these huge buggies. So say if I was to get inside the buggy and you push the buggy and just make up a story like I'm your handicapped sister or whatever, and you just put me in the buggy because I'm small for my age. So I can easily look 12 or 13 to make it easier. And so here we are going down the aisles, and I always like to have something put on top of me, something big like a pillow or something so the camera won't catch what I'm doing. And I'll probably have a dress or something on. And I just take like movies, DVDs, and I just slip them under my dress. And we might buy like a soda or just some cheap item to say we bought something, and then we just went, there we go. Got a bunch of DVDs. Let's see what else. I also promised you, I made a deal with you that I would get you money, and I will stay true to that deal. There are plenty of ways to make money. I could go as far as even to go to a bar and, you know, a guy might ask, hey, you want to have sex with me and I'll give you money for it? And I might say, sure, yeah. And go with him and then maybe drug him or whack him over the head with a bottle, take his wallet. But we have to play it smart. You know, we have to be very careful what we do as a team and what I do. Because it does take skill to not get caught.
Oh my God, this comment right here, Amber. Oh my God, I'm going to the naughty list. Santa is definitely not bringing me shit. Hamburger hooker, that took me out. I'm done. It's okay. I know that Nick made some requests. They were very vague requests, right? Maybe the one definite thing he had was colors picked out that he wanted Demona and Gypsy to wear, right? But does it sound? This sounds like Gypsy is the criminal mastermind here. Okay? Not Nick. I mean, yeah. She did testify for Nick, okay? I mean, sort of. She was called by the defense. I mean, let's be clear. So, you know, whatever. But and that's another issue right there. The defense knew that Gypsy was lying, okay? But what could they do? That was their witness. You can't impeach your own witness. So they were caught in a rock and a hard place. what is his name? His name, right? I keep wanting to say Dan Stidham, but that's Jesse's attorney. Why is his name escaping me? Right, Patterson. Patterson. He wasn't going to do anything to try to make Gypsy. That was the defense's witness. So it was just. I do think that Nick does deserve a retrial. I think that honestly, not so he can be free. I don't think that Nick needs to be free. Because I think what's going on with Nick is not just his autism, not just being on the spectrum, but Nick did have a time when he was Baker acted 5150 because he was in a moment of psychosis. And I think that Nick, some of the things that he describes to me, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, just stuff that I've picked up over the years, to me sound like some of the symptoms of schizophrenia. And he's very he is very anti-medication. He does not want to take medication. And I think that he needs to be in a place where he can receive help. But I think that keeping him in prison is dangerous for him. I think that he would be victimized in there. I think that he wants to fit in. That's very, very clear. And I think that he would absolutely be manipulated to do things while he, being in prison. So I don't think prison is the answer, but I do think a secure facility would be better for him.
And so that's very important. We have to keep remembering that. As for your rules, I'll obey the rules that you have. I don't have the list in front of me. I have it saved on my computer, but I remember some of it. One was the last one was to get you money by any means. Then I think it was something like, oh crap, I can't remember them offhand, but it was something like I have to give you deep throat for back talk, which I won't back talk. I'll listen to you and obey you as good as I can. And I know I'm bouncing from subject to subject, but I'm trying to do this. But as far as my turn on spots, okay, I'm going to try and get these topics aligned here. My turn on spots, which would be my ass, my boobs, my neck, and my lips, obviously. And more we'll learn as we get more experience with each other. So that's that. As far as raping Nick, there are lots of ways I can do that. I can tie him to a chair. I could tie him to a bed. I can tie him to anything and have my way with him that way. But I promise if you tell me to do it a certain way, I will do it the way that you want me to. And no questions asked. So, yeah, we could do that. And I think it might be fun for both of us. So, maybe you can come out and watch. It's an idea. What else? I think that we would just make a really good bad couple. We could be partners in crime. I know that your soulmate's not me, unfortunately. It's your sister, your only sister. But even though I might not be your soulmate, I just want you to know that I really want you to love me because I've fallen in love with you. I kind of have an attraction to bad boys, which I'm pretty sure you already knew that.
Oh, Jesus, fuck, I can't.
I know. Bad boys just attract me. Got a thing for them. You are just downright bad. evil. So that's really hot. What else? I think that you and I could be great partners, be great lovers in evil. And I think that while we have this opportunity, take it. You know, life's far too short not to have fun. So I would love to have somebody to be bad with, and someone to let me be free, let me come out. You know, I want to go to a bar, so please take me to a bar. I want to do Jello shots. I want to drink. I want to just have fun. I want to have sex, lots and lots of sex, like wherever, whenever. That would be fun, and I don't care if it's in public. I don't.
This is really telling. You're right, Lula Lola. You're right. This is very, very telling. I think Demona is obviously they're the same person, but I think that Gypsy uses the Demona persona to say what she really thinks, to say how she really feels. Yeah. Shots, 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 shots. Everybody.
I don't care if it's private. I don't care who's watching, as long as we do it. And kissing, the wetter the better.
Oh wow.
Kissing definitely sounds good to me. I can't wait to meet you in person. Though I might be a little afraid. Maybe not afraid, just maybe intimidated of you. But I think I'm gonna calm down as we get to know each other more. But know that I'll always respect you. And now that I love you, I won't betray you. I don't betray people that I love. I form an alliance.
Hold on a minute. Stop that and stop that right now. We all saw your interrogation video. That is a whole lie. That man only had to tell you the snowball and the pencil story like 3 times before you cracked. And then you blamed it all on Nick. Stop playing with these people, Gypsy. You are not loyal to no one but yourself.
And a loyalty to them. And that's something that I don't break. So as bad as I am.
Yeah, loyal people don't have to tell people they're loyal. They are just loyal. It's kind of like being cool. You don't tell people you're cool. You just are.
I still have a sense of loyalty, a sense of love, and I know that you've sensed that I have a heart. I do have a heart, and I was a really, really bad girl at one time, and Master Victor tamed me down a bit, and he showed me how to be respectful and how to control myself and how to have self-control over my urges and stuff. So I'm probably not as bad as I used to be, but I'd like to be let off the leash a little bit and kind of run free with someone like you or you know. I want to run free with you. And I don't want to hold back my feelings. I don't want to hold back who I am. I'm a slut and I want to be.
I mean, look, we're not going to, I'm not going to slut shame over here because I think it's ridiculous. But it's the thing of it is what the purpose and the intent behind these videos are. All this is a form of manipulation. It is, she's going to do and say whatever he asks her to do and say. And I'm sure she throws her own brand of evil demon in there, in the mix, because he is simply a means to an end. She wants her mother dead, period, which is so sad. Justified. I'm sorry that happened, babe. Boudica says, how can anyone defend her is my question. Bree sure tried to convince Perez Hilton that it was all Nick. Dee Dee controlled her, then Nick controlled her, not Gypsy's fault. I don't understand. I don't like to have conversations with people who deal in absolutes. Nothing is ever... This case is not that simple at all. And I think even in good relationships, healthy relationships, right? It's not really 50-50. We all know that. Sometimes it's 49-51. Sometimes it's 55-45. Don't get mad. It's late. I'm tired. I'm sick and I don't know math, but 55 and 45 sounds right. 60-40 sometimes. All right. Just like with like Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. The people want to know who ran the show. I think the truth of the matter is at different times it was Lori. And then I think at other times it was Chad. I think they fed off of each other. So I don't think that Chad is more evil than Lori. I think they're equally evil. I think they express their evil in different ways. I think people like Lori Vallow and like Gypsy are the neck. They get the head to turn any way they want it. They're the type of people that that are manipulating you by making it seem as if it's actually your idea. That's who I think they are. I wouldn't want to live with Gypsy either. I would be scared of her. I wouldn't be scared of her physically, but I will tell you what I would be scared of. I would be scared that she would be cooking with Roundup, the weed killer. Sure would.
Be bad with you. And we got to a topic of you making me sleep with other guys. I'll do it, but know that your body is the only body that I love and adore. Because I do love and adore Nick, as I love and adore Master, and I love you. And I think love is something very important in any partnership, whether it is crime or otherwise. So that's really important. So yeah, we'd be very, very good at being back together. So now that I think that I covered all the topics, I'm not sure. If not, whatever topic I didn't cover, I'll cover online talking to you. So I guess I'll say goodnight now. Good night.
Oh God, I can't do it. I can't.
Sir, Black One.
All right, here we go.
Adore and worship.
Hold on. This is the last one.
Hi, my love.
Because I cannot do it. I can't do any more tonight, you guys. I cannot. I cannot do any more Gypsy tonight. You know, this little ensemble here is reminiscent of the picture that she took where she's Kitty. She's holding the teddy bear.
I just finished watching all the videos he sent me, and I adore and worship all of them. Can't believe how much he put into making them for me. I really, really, really appreciate them. They're wonderful. And I just finished watching the last one. And I think it's kind of funny because I was up late that night as well, working on things for you. Well, Demona was working on one thing, and I was working on editing a video for you that I can't give to you, but not yet, but a bit later on, like on your birthday.
Just so you guys know, if you don't remember back in the day, this is actually how kind of YouTube was. Videos back and forth. Obviously, the content was different. But the fact that Gypsy, this is the thing. How controlling and oppressed could she have been if she had time to edit? Editing is not, it's not like incredibly difficult, but it is tedious. You know? And this is another thing. There's going to be phone conversations between the woman who is a producer, I want to say for, she worked on Gypsy's Revenge. And she's talking to Nick. And I kept waiting, and maybe we'll get there in the calls, but we haven't gotten there yet. I keep waiting for the producer to ask the important question. Did you ever, aside from the day that you came to Missouri to murder Dee Dee, did you ever have a confrontation with her? Did she ever tell you to stop seeing Gypsy? Did she ever tell you that Gypsy was you weren't good enough for Gypsy? Because I get the distinct impression that the reason that Nick thinks that Dee Dee didn't like him is because that's what Gypsy told him. Like, I don't think he knew. I don't think there was I wonder if there was an actual confrontation that made that backed up what Gypsy was saying. Because I'd like to know, when they were at the movie theater and they took the picture, it's not a selfie. Who took that picture?
Give it to you. So I was working on that, and she was working on that. And the funniest thing is, you were working on those videos since me. So we're up at the same time doing stuff for each other. So I'll answer your first video, and then I'll move on from there. Okay.
Oh, fantastic. We can hardly wait. Quilting with Ginny says, do you think she has multiple personality or just full of crap? I think she's full of crap. People who have multiple personalities for a long dissociative identity disorder, it's not until they go through the I think it's Tess, help me, the unification process, where they become aware of their different personalities. No, this is personas. This is something different. I shan't be watching any YouTube channel created by GRB.
Okay. For your first video, you said that since you're a Taurus, you're incredibly patient, which I know you have shown me extraordinary patience throughout our relationship. And I know that I've done things that has made you angry or hurt, and you've had this calmness about you. Not exactly calm, but patience with me. And I appreciate that so very much. And like, there are times that I don't do things right with like the good nights, and sometimes you might have to do it twice just so I can get it right. And so you're patient in a lot of ways, and I appreciate that a lot. And I'm learning how to be patient from you. So you're a very good teacher with that. So I'm learning to be patient through you, through your teaching. And secondly, you were very emotional in that video. And I have nights and days like that too. They aren't easy. And having this relationship where there's only so much we can do. There's not the physical connection yet. And I think that's what makes us cry, because I cry sometimes all night, and the tears my pillow is soaked with tears just because I miss you so much, and I want to hold you and love you and have you right next to me. But that has to wait for a little while. And so right now we're just trying to do the best we can, what we can do right now. But I feel that same exact way too. And when that happens, what do? I look at the videos you send me. I look at the pictures that you send me. I read old posts. I do whatever I can to have you as close to me as I can. And that's kind of what you were doing, looking at old videos of me through good times and bad. And so I want you to know that I feel the same way about that. And you said that some people, or they say that you fall in love with the same person over and over again. And I completely get that, because for as long as I can remember, I've been falling in love with you over and over again. But it's kind of like yours and kind of like that at the same time, because it's like I fell in love with you once, and then you might do something like send me a poem or a very romantic video that makes me fall deeper in love with you, but it feels like the first time, like I'm falling in love all over again. It's that same rush, that same high, that same cloud nine feeling. So that's kind of what I'm saying about over and over again, is because it feels like the first time every time. And I think it makes me feel more happy and just fall deeper in love with you every time and every day and every minute. I fall in love more and more and more and get deeper and deeper, and much like you for me. And okay, the other topic was about my chest size. I agree with you about that. I was kind of, let me make sure this doesn't go off. Okay. I was a bit worried about like having implants because so much can go wrong. You hear about these stories about botched breast surgeries, and they like go on like the talk shows and you see the before picture and there's nothing wrong with them. They look pretty, and you look at them now and their bodies are botched and disfigured, and I don't want that to happen to me. So I completely agree with the whole vitamin thing and the push-up bra, because that bra works miracles. Oh my God. As far as I never heard of this bra before. And so it definitely gets to the look that I want. As for my body, I am happy with it. I feel like my chest fits my body because I do have a petite body. So I feel like even though the shape of it might not be what you want, that could be improved. But the size of it might stay as it is. It's just the shape that needs to be changed just a little bit. But that can be done by vitamins to help me grow. And the push-up bra also helps with the shaping as well. So we decided against implants. So I agree. Now we'll be on to you. What you're saying about your penis size. I have no trouble with the size that it is. It's big enough to me, and I think that you're the perfect size. Of course, I would support you if you wanted to go an inch bigger, because if it makes you feel better, that's your choice. I wouldn't stop you from, having more self-confidence or whatever. I honestly do think that you would be able to please me with what you have now. I don't see anything wrong with it. So I'm perfectly satisfied. The part is getting you satisfied.
When she talked about implants, it's reminiscent of when she was doing her life after lockup or love after lockup or whatever the hell it was that she did. And she was talking about how she was explaining how she could have undergone all of those procedures, all of those unnecessary medical procedures, all of those surgeries that, but this time, she chose, and that was the difference. I really, I have a really hard time wrapping my brain around that and accepting that as the truth. There's something about that just, it doesn't sit well with me. I have a granddaughter who has systemic juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and she also has interstitial lung disease. And this child is afraid to be sick because every time in the past, before we were able to get the right combination of medication for her, when she would get sick, it would result in a hospital stay. And for she's only 4. For her, a hospital stay always, it meant it's a hospital stay, but it always meant the IV. And she does not want the IV at all. And so to me, I think about how my granddaughter is at 4, and her procedures that, are necessary. And yet and how she'll do anything to, avoid getting sick or whatever. And she's 4. I can't state that enough. So I have a hard time wrapping my brain around what Gypsy's rationale is.
Fine with your confidence in it and your confidence in your performance. And maybe that stress and that nerves might go away after we have our first time. So you know that you can please me and that everything's perfect. But I think that sort of worry is going to stay there until you have proved, which is our first time, that you are good enough. And I just want you to know that you are perfect for me. God made you for me. And if there was like a thingy where I had to pick everything out in my soulmate, I would choose your size.
You literally did, Gypsy. You went on the internet trolling. And something tells me that, and I'm waiting for this to happen. I have a sneaking suspicion. Do I think that she spoke to many? I think Nick and Dan are the only ones that she spoke to in the way that she's speaking now. But I think that I think she tried to catch other men, and I think that I think she absolutely had a checklist, and I think that she absolutely. It's interesting that she chooses to say that Damona has the spirit of a dog, and because dogs are predators, and their ancestors, they come from wolves, and wolves are definitely predators, and they watch and they pick the weakest link. And I think that's exactly what she did. I think she did absolutely have a checklist. I think she got really frustrated with Nick until he got arrested. Something about that arrest for her, I think, is what brought her back. Because I think that they were going to be, I think that they were sort of, I don't think they were as deep into it as after his arrest. I think it got more serious after that.
Your package, I would choose that size. Your hair color, I would choose your hair color. I would choose everything about you is perfect. So stop worrying, my love. You're gorgeous. You're handsome. You're sexy. You're hot. You're everything that I would ever want.
Manipulative.
And I just want you to know that I love and adore you and worship you. And I know.
And that's another thing. She's lying to him. She doesn't think this about Nick. She was never in love with him. I don't even think she liked him. There are times, if you go back and you were to watch the camera footage from the bus stop, you can see her get impatient with him. It's also at the motel. When they went to the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, there's no audio, but you can see from their body language that she's impatient with him. She didn't like that boy, not even a little.
I'm using one too many answers. Okay, let me try that again. I love, adore, and worship you. See, I got the grammar right this time. I let the other one slip. Anyway, I saw that on your video, and I'm like, oh, I have to correct that. Because I don't know anything about grammar. Or spelling.
Oh, also, I'd like to just point out this too. This is old news, but she did say in this video, the wetter the better with kissing. And I find that very interesting, considering that the narrative has been that her salivary glands were removed. I mean, you have several. You have 3 big ones, but you can see clearly that she does not have a problem creating saliva. So I just think it's interesting that she would use that term.
But anyway, sidetracked. Just know that I love, adore, and worship you so very much, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. And so I am perfectly content and happy in our relationship. And like you were saying, make sure it doesn't go off again. Like you were saying that you have to kind of keep me, the mindset I'm perfectly happy, I'm perfectly content, I'm perfectly confident in us and in me right now. But like you were saying, that has to be maintained. That has to be reassured every once in a while to keep me that way. And so what you're doing is perfect. Good job. Now about
And also, I know she's come out and made a comment here and there about these videos being released. And, you know, she said she's not going to address something that happened decades ago, blah, blah, blah. She's grown, she's changed. She hasn't, though. She still uses the same vernacular. She still uses terms like perfect, the perfect time, the perfect person, the perfect. She speaks of soulmates having no real concept of what that means. And she still talks that way to this day, which tells me that she hasn't actually grown. You cannot, Gypsy, seriously, you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. You've blamed everybody but yourself. You're the catalyst of all of this. And I keep seeing comments like in Into the Weeds chats, and I see this a lot, and they're not wrong. I don't want to, like, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, you know, she could have called for help. She could have, I think for Gypsy, this is just my opinion. Obviously, I wasn't there. I don't think that killing Dee Dee was actually about escape. I think that killing Dee Dee had to do with the fact that every time Gypsy and Dee Dee filled out her disability to get Social Security disability insurance, you know, Gypsy was signing her name to that after she turned 18. They were in on the con together, not to mention the bilking of charities and stuff like that. Okay, there was some con going on there. And I think that when Dee Dee got sick, that at the beginning of 2015 and had to be taken by ambulance, I think Gypsy really freaked out. And that's what I think it was about for her, really. Not about escaping. She could have escaped at any time. She knew that. It was really about, I think it was really about killing her other accomplice, quite frankly. That's what I think it was.
Your second video, I thought it was adorable, and I worship it because I get to see that colorful side of you, and that colorful side is the side that I worship and adore so much because it's so adorable. And you made me want chocolate. And I think it's cute when you're hyper. I think you're cute when you're mad, but you're adorable when you're hyper. So hopefully I get to make you hyper a lot more. And I think your third video is the big video where you sing. And I thought that the song you sang was very beautiful. It's very moving, very touching. And I could see that you worked hard on it. I don't know how to do videos like that. So you got one up on me there, which I know this isn't a competition, but I'm just giving you your props because that seemed hard. So I really appreciate it. It touched me to my soul.
Oh, God. And this element to her personality, this is the public. This is what she shows the public. Very sweet, complimentary. I'm just a happy-go-lucky kind of gal. I made 11 billion videos plotting to kill my mom. Nothing to see here.
Warmed my soul. It made me so happy and giddy. And the song was beautiful. And one day I want to give you a song, but I want to sing it, but I just have to pick the perfect one out, and I haven't picked that song out yet.
Don't sing. Please don't
But
sing.
I am going to, in the future, give you a song that I will sing to you.
Oh, yay. We all have something to look
I
forward
do
to.
sing okay, I guess. And your fourth video was that you stayed up so late. And the pure dedication that you have is amazing. So thank you so much for having that dedication towards me. And I have the same dedication towards, sorry baby, my camera went off. So anyway, I was saying I have the same dedication towards you. So to end this video, I love, adore, and worship you, my amazing, handsome, sexy King Charming. And good night.
Oh, God, I forgot about the pill one.
Lovely, sweetheart hubby.
Oh, God. All right, here we go.
Help with getting pregnant. So and then after that bottle runs out,
Here's all her
basically I just
pills.
want to get help getting pregnant. So taking the vitamins will help me get pregnant, and then after that, the prenatal vitamins are to help with the baby's growth and brain development. So it's all natural, so I don't need to worry. It's not medication. It's just a supplement of vitamins that help stimulate things I'm already making. It'll just help the baby and things with my pregnancy. So I just want to keep you informed about what I'm doing and how I'm prepared. I'm not going to start with the vitamins yet, or the female reproductive vitamins yet. So when I wait till it gets a little bit closer to the time we plan on doing our plan, yeah, so I'll get everything set up. Can't wait, darling. I'm really excited. So hopefully you tell your mom soon and your dad that you're coming to visit me again, and in June, early June, so they don't have to freak out. Talk to them. Please talk to them about if you take the bus or not. Please let me know, because this needs to be planned weeks in advance, because I'm only fertile for like 6 days out of a month. So I really need to make sure that your parents are cool with you taking the bus, that everything's all cool and everything's all ready. I'm going to be sending the envelope with the $400, and you have $100 at home, so that makes $500. Sorry, I'm not.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
$100. Sorry, I'm not.
Now, where were you about to go, Gypsy? Because that's your outside of the house look. Huh. Wonder what's going on there. Wonder where she was about to go. Interesting.
Trying myself is not all pretty. But just please talk to your parents and see if they're all cool with you coming to see me. And don't tell them that we're gonna.
Oh, shit. Let me see if I can fix that up.
Tell them that we're gonna. I love and worship you, my wonderful, handsome hubby, and I cannot wait. Just for kisses.
Okay, so Tess is like, what is she showing that for? Okay. This had to have been, if she's talking about coming in June, this had to be in 2015. Or wait. Let me think. Because he came out twice. Hold on, let me see. And this must be the when he was going to come out the first time, because it's hard to remember for me. But she says June though, Boudica. That's why I'm saying June would have been the second visit, when she was intending to when they were going to murder her mom. But they did have a plan for her to get pregnant. And that was at the first meeting. So, yeah. Interesting. Now, what am I looking for, Boudica? Diaper cozy hanging on the towel rack. All right, hold on. Let's go back. Hold on. Let me do it like this. Hold on.
Can't wait, darling. I'm really excited. So
Is it so
hopefully you tell
quick?
your mom soon and your dad that you're coming to visit me again.
See it coming to visit me again. This has to be in June. See? If she's coming again, if he's coming again, and she did say June, this has to be for the murder.
Early June. So they don't have to freak out. Talk to them. Please talk to them about if you take the bus or not. Please let me know because this needs to be planned weeks in advance because I'm only fertile for like 6 days out of a month. So I really need to make sure that your parents are cool with you taking the bus, that everything's all cool and everything's all ready. I'm going to be sending the envelope with the $400.
Right
I have
after
100
this.
at
Okay,
home, so
hold on.
it's
I'm gonna look.
$500. Sorry, I'm not.
Are you talking about this right here?
I'm showing myself as well. It's pretty. Sorry, I'm not.
Wait.
Sending the envelope with the $400, and you have 100 at home, so it's $500. Sorry, I'm not.
What thing on the counter, Kelly? Which thing, babe? Be more specific. I mean, let's see. This looks like toothpaste and toothbrush. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know. It all kind of freaks me out. So, okay, Neat says, was she trying to get pregnant so Dee Dee would have to let her go? So they had 3 plans. They called them Plan A, B, and C. Plan A was for Nick to meet. That was the movie theater. He was gonna be introduced. Like it was like an accidentally look who I ran into. And then then she was going to tell Dee Dee, oh, by the way, I'm dating him. Plan B was to kill Dee Dee. And plan C was for Gypsy to get pregnant. And then she would have to accept that Nick was in her life. Just behind the pillbox. All right, let me look. Hang on. Let me go back. I'm not sure. I don't know what that is, babe. Yeah, I don't know what this. Are you talking about this? Let me move this. This. I'm not sure what that is. Oh my God, the way that I'm looking at my screen right now, I look like that lady on the Wendy's commercial. Where's the beef? I'm not turning my camera on so you can see it, but I'm just telling you, just even though I'm nowhere near those women's age, it's how I feel right now, how hard I'm staring at the screen. Where's the beef? I'm not sure what that is. I know Dee Dee was a diabetic, so it's possible. All right, you guys. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. I will be back tomorrow night. We're not done. Oh, no, 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 Gypsy. The truth, like Thanos, is inevitable. It's coming out. So there's more videos. There are videos from when they went to Cape Cod. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that that Cape Cod Medical Conference is the conference where it's featured in Mommy Dead and Dearest, where Gypsy's singing, I believe the angels walk among us. That song? Yeah, I think that I think that's the one. And it's actually quite interesting. So we will continue tomorrow night. And then I want to get to some of the calls with Nick. Not all of them, because I think, I don't want to play all the girls' content, but I do think that it is important for us to be like, like a relay race. Each of us pick up the baton and, talk about this because getting the truth out is important. So anywho, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for being here. I'll be back live tomorrow night. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the stream and do the hype thing when it's over. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see y'all back here tomorrow night. Bye.